Good morning. This is Dr. Pranjali Sharma, and in this video lecture, we are going to understand about triple integration. So, starting with triple integration with constant limits. So, let f be a function of x, y, and z, and it is to be integrated with respect to x, y, and z between the limits x1 to x2, y1 to y2, and z1 to z2, where x1 to x2 are limits of x, y1 to y2 are limits of y, and z1 to z2 are limits of z, and all the limits x1 x2 y1 y2 and z1 z2 are constants, then the integral can be evaluated in any order. So let's understand by some examples. So in this example, we have to integrate x square plus y square plus z square with respect to x, y, z between the limits minus a to plus a, minus b to plus b, and minus c to plus c, where minus a to plus a are limits of x, minus b to plus b are limits of y, and minus c to plus c are limits of z. So we can integrate in any order. So first, if we integrate with respect to x, then first we check whether the function is even or not, since the limits are from minus a to plus a, and we know that the first term x square is even. Even function means if f of minus x is equal to f of x, and with respect to x, y square plus z square are constants, therefore they can be treated as even function. You have to remember that all the constants are treated as even functions. So since whole function is even with respect to x, therefore limits can be changed as 2 times 0 to a. So next we have changed the limit as 2 times 0 to a. Now we integrate it with respect to x, treating y square and z square as constant. So if we integrate it with respect to x, it will be x cube by 3, and since y square is treated as constant with respect to x, therefore it will be y square x, and z square is also a constant with respect to x, therefore its integration with respect to x will be z square x. And we have to put limit from 0 to a, and we have to apply upper limit minus lower limit to calculate this. So when we apply upper limit minus lower limit, the final integration will be 2 times integration between minus b to plus b minus c to plus c, a cube by 3 plus a y square plus a z square dy dz. Now next we integrate with respect to y, treating z as constant. So next integration is with respect to y between the limits minus b to plus b. And now we again check whether the function is even or odd. Now since a y square is even with respect to y, and a cube by 3 plus a z square can be treated as constants. So constants are always even, therefore the function is even with respect to y, therefore the limit minus b to plus b can be changed as 2 times 0 to b, therefore the integration is now 4 times minus c to plus c, integration between the limits 0 to b, a cube by 3 plus a y square plus a z square dy into dz. Now we integrate it with respect to y, treating z as a constant. So if we integrate this, a cube by 3 is a constant, therefore its integration will be a cube by 3 into y. Here the integration of y will be a y cube by 3, and since a z square is a constant with respect to y, therefore its integration will be a z square y between the limits 0 to b. Now we apply upper limit minus lower limit. So when we apply upper limit minus lower limit, it will be a cube b by 3 plus ab cube by 3 plus ab z square. Now last integration is with respect to z. We again check whether the function is even or odd. So as we can see, z square is even with respect to z, and these two terms are constants, and constants are always even, therefore the whole function can be treated as even function, therefore the limit can be changed from 2 times 0 to c, therefore the integration is now 8 times integration between the limits 0 to c of the function. And now we can integrate the function with respect to z. So with respect to z, Since a cube b by 3 is a constant, therefore its integration will be a cube b by 3 into z, and ab cube by 3 is also a constant, therefore its integration will be ab cube z by 3. And here we have to integrate this z square, and ab is treated as a constant, therefore its integration will be ab z cube by 3 between the limits 0 to c. Now we have to apply upper limit minus lower limit. So when we apply upper limit minus lower limit, it will be its final answer will be 8 by 3 a cube bc plus ab cube c plus ab c cube. Next we will see triple integration with variable limits. So let f be a function of x, y and z, and if it is to be integrated with respect to x, y and z, and if the limits are x1 to x2, f1x to f2x, and f1xy to f2xy. So here we have to decide about the limits. Since here we have functions of x and y, so the limit cannot be the limit of x or the limit of y, so it will be the limit of z only. And the next limit is f1x to f2x, that means the limits are functions of x, therefore it cannot be the limit of x, therefore it will be the limit of y, and the second order is integration with respect to y. And x1 to x2 are constants, and only x is remaining, therefore x1 to x2 are limits of x, and we have to integrate it with respect to x. Now, so the order will be first integration with respect to z, second integration with respect to y, and third integration with respect to x. Means we have to calculate variable limits first and constant limit last. See how it will work. If we integrate it first with respect to z, z will be converted into x and y, and next if we integrate it with respect to y, the y will be converted into function of x, and the last integration will be with respect to x, and finally the answer will be a constant. So you have to remember the rule VLF. VLF means variable limit first. So let's understand by an example. Let we have to integrate the function x plus y plus z with respect to x, y and z, and since the limits are minus 1 to plus 1, 0 to z, and x minus z to x plus z. So first we decide about the limits. Since here we have the limits x minus z to x plus z, which are functions of x and z, therefore it cannot be the limit of x or the limit of z, so it will be only the limit of y, and it has two variables, therefore our first integration will be with respect to y. And the next limit is from 0 to z, which is function of z, therefore it cannot be the limit of z, so it will be the limit of x, and the second integration will be with respect to x, and only y is z is remaining, therefore minus 1 to plus 1, which are constants, will be the limit of z. So now we first integrate with respect to y, treating x and z as a constant. So we are integrating the function with respect to y. Since x and z are treated as a constant, therefore integration of x will be xy, integration of z will be yz, and integration of y will be y square by 2 between the limits x minus z to x plus z. Now we apply upper limit minus lower limit. So we have applied upper limit minus lower limit. Here we can take y as common, and it will be x plus z into y, and in place of y we have put upper limit minus lower limit. Here we have taken 1 by 2 as common, and we have put upper limit in place of y square and lower limit in place of y square. So it is upper limit minus lower limit in place of y square. So by simple calculation, the integration is now minus 1 to plus 1, 0 to z, x plus z into 2z plus 1 by 2 into 4xz. If we further simplify it, if we open the bracket, the integration is now minus 1 to plus 1, integration between the limits 0 to z, 4xz plus 2z square dx dz. Now since x has variable limits, therefore second integration will be with respect to x, treating z as a constant. So if we keep z as constant, so the integration will be 4z into x square by 2 plus 2z square, which is a constant, into x between the limits 0 to z. Now we apply upper limit minus lower limit. So if we apply upper limit minus lower limit, the integration is now 4z into z square by 2 plus 2z cube minus lower limit as 0. So if we calculate this, the final integration is now integration between the limits minus 1 to plus 1, 4z cube dz. Now the last integration, the third integration, is integration with respect to z. So if we integrate 4z cube, its integration will be 4z to the power 4 by 4 between the limits minus 1 to plus 1. And if we apply upper limit minus lower limit, it will be 1 to the power 4 minus 1 to the power 4, which is 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0. So this is the triple integration with variable limits. Next we will solve some more question related to triple integration. Thank you.